right, Vegas, we are back. And it's time for us to continue our Year 1 season simulation with your Las Vegas Golden Knights. In the last episode, we officially got the season underway, and currently our record is 4 wins, 4 regulation losses, and 3 overtime losses. Obviously not the greatest record. We are 8th in the Pacific Division, but we have to be realistic about our chances this year with an expansion team. I mean, 4-4-3 is not the worst thing in the world, and you never know, the simulation could give us something to work with. James the Real Deal Neal, if he turns into a Maurice Richard and Art Ross candidate, maybe the Las Vegas Golden Knights actually can do some damage this year. I don't know. I wanted to keep it very simple. I was going through your comments, a lot of suggestions for what we should do, but like I said, I wanted to keep it very simple, so I just left one question with you guys, a poll. When should the Las Vegas Golden Knights give up on the season? We all agreed that if we're not a Stanley Cup contender, if we're not a playoff contender, then we should give up as early as possible so that we can increase our draft lottery odds. And based on the poll results, I mean, 64 votes for December end, 64 votes for January end, only 3 votes for February end, and 16 votes for trade deadline. See what I mean? You guys agree we should unload these players as soon as possible. So, just putting every comment, every suggestion aside for 1 second, I just want to agree with that mindset that if this team is clearly not a playoff contender, come December end, we are going to unload a bunch of players for draft picks, prospects, but more importantly, to ensure that we tank to give ourselves the best odds for the upcoming NHL entry draft, okay? So, the poll was a success, thank you very much, but we also did have some comments. First one from Hank Hill, our sponsor, baby. As the first sponsor of the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm happy to announce my first fan offer here in Vegas. I'm pleased to announce the James the Real Deal Neal 5% off event. Just walk into Strickland Propane wearing a Golden Knights hat, and I will give you the gracious discount of 5% off your first purchase. Limited time offer, certain restrictions do apply. So, I mean, it's all well and good that Hank Hill is already starting to work here in Las Vegas, but I gotta let you guys in on something. Last night I was contacted by a mysterious investor. He told me I had to keep the information secret right now, but he got my ass drunk, and when I'm drunk I can't say no. So he proposed you a free beer if you make mine team official beer. What the? I propose you free beer if you make mine team official beer. Oh man, maybe that's the way I heard him talking last night when I was pissed drunk. But Hank Hill, you have yourself some competition, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. We also picked up some veterans in the last video. Jerome McGinley to help us out. He's actually playing on the first line right now because David Perron went down with an injury. I didn't even see any David Perron fan art injuries. I mean, what are you waiting for? That's perfect. But we also did pick up Jaromir Jagr, and GM Superman and Vegas are proud to present the Jaromir Jagr Farewell Tour. That's right, we're hoping to sell some jerseys here with Jaromir Jagr, and more importantly, trading asset for the trade deadline. And I already mentioned this, but the real deal, James Neal, I mean, I'd love to hold on to this guy. Is he going to get 50 and 17, 100-point season, league MVP? I mean, look what he's already done so far. 11 games played, 13 points, 5 goals. That could always trail off, but still, oh man, 30 years of age, you could probably get like 3 or 4 years out of him. Maybe we should sign him. I don't know. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to be very quick. I'm going to handle all the injuries myself. Let's go, let's do the slow simulation just for a few games here, just to see when Perron, I think Perron's coming back in the beginning of October. You know what? Screw that. Let's just go calendar. Let's speed this sucker up a little bit because I don't envision this video being too long. If by the time December end comes around, we're below 500, I think I might want to start unloading players right there. We might turn the rest of the video into just pre-scouting for any potential trades coming up. I don't want to make any big trades without letting you guys in on it. And if we want to get the best trade, we got to be patient, right? We want to wait as long as possible so that certain teams put up certain players and prospects on the trading block. All right, enough of me talking. Let's start holy shit, the Toronto Maple Leafs are 1-9-3. That's pretty bad. So let's go 3 games at a time here. That way I'm not going ahead of myself with any potential line changes, because I do want to make line changes. All right, so I'm done with the scouting trip you asked. Let's send out the scout one more time. We were scouting in the United States of America. We've already gone 3 times, so we got the forward, defense, and goaltenders. It's very important that we scout, and I didn't copy and paste this comment, but I saw a lot of them. You guys were saying that because we're an expansion team, we should be drafting a lot of guys from the European nations. The reason being is that they're eligible for the AHL right away. So if we get a guy who is low elites 58 overall, you might be able to put him in the AHL year number 1, might be ready for the NHL year number 2. So I absolutely agree with that. So if we're in Las Vegas, I mean, those raging Russians, the Ruskies, they love gambling, they love their vodka. Let's bring some Russians to Las Vegas, all right? So forwards, let's go 3 weeks, shall we? There you go. All right, so we're going to try to scout out some Russians. We also have that Shipachayev guy, and he's been great for us. So the 3-game simulation, we got a win right there and 2 losses. Wow, the Toronto Maple Leafs actually beat us. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Unbelievable. All right, so nothing popped up. 5, 6, and 3. Again, there's not really much I can do. I can try to make some line changes, but I feel like I'm a hamster just spinning on a wheel right now. I mean, if something good happens, is it my doing or is it just coincidence? You got to look at this team as a whole. And on paper, with Perron in the first line, not too shabby, but without Perron, you start to lose the depth there a little bit. We know the defensive core is not good at all. We're playing the young guns, and then Marc-Andre Fleury, I mean, he's going to have to stand on his head to keep us in this. He's having a great season. You cannot blame Marc-Andre Fleury with a save percentage. Any goaltender with a save percentage of above .920, I mean, he's doing his job. He's doing the bare minimum. Can't blame him. So we need to... This is what I mean about this team. There's no way we can bring in help. The only way we can bring in help is by trading away prospects and draft picks. That's a big no-no for a team like this. So, you know what? We got to put our head down and grind out some games here, boys. Let's just go with it. We got to get Perron back. I'm going to leave Jerome in there. Let's go another 4 games, and then I'll take a look at the player stats. Any players that are ridiculous minus, I'll take them out of there. There's a 4-0 W over the Montreal Canadiens. All right, so, ooh! Okay. So Clayton Stoner right now is playing down in the AHL, I believe. Not the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The LA Kings want to claim Clayton Stoner, and they are willing to give me 2 6th-round picks, the Islanders and the Kings. Now, this is different than previous NHL games. I mean, the 6th-round pick you may have laughed at before. Not so much anymore. I mean, at a certain point, the Vegas Golden Knights need quantity of picks, not quality. We just got to get as much as we can and hope that the game gives us something, right? So let me go back to edit this trade. I mean, Clayton Stoner's playing down in the AHL, I believe. Hang on a second. Let me just see this. Let me see this. Or is he up in the NHL, defenseman? I can't remember. Hang on a second. Stoner, he is in the AHL. And when it comes to the AHL defenseman, we want to stack up down there. We have Englund who's playing. Stoner would be the 2nd best defenseman down there. And then Weber 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, you can still make it work. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this trade. I'm going to unload him right now. I don't know how much value Clayton Stoner will have for the remainder of the season. I can get 2 6th-round picks for this right now. Hell yeah, I'm going to do it. So, boys, Clayton Stoner is going to the LA Kings in exchange for a pair of 6th-round picks in the 2018 NHL entry draft. We felt our trade offer would benefit both your team and the LA Kings as well. We are glad to see you agree. I absolutely agree. That's a good one. All right, so roster moves. Let me go ahead with this. Power of video editing. All right, boys. So here's the AHL defensive lineups. I've moved Griffin Reinhart up to the top 2. Even though he's still listed as a minor league top 4, let's see if this guy can get any growth. He looks like to be on the brink of becoming a legitimate minor league top 2. So I'm going to move him up there. And, yeah, that's basically it. We got, hang on a second. Let me just bring that back up again. Starting lineups, defenseman. I think I threw in, yeah, Morrison. This is the new guy I threw in there. High AHL top 2. He was scratched already, 69 overall. Hopefully that is good enough. I know we did have the plan to try to grow the AHL squad. I do want to do that. But, look, again, I mean, this is what I mean. The teams now around the league are searching for depth players that they can use to help them out. The Boston Bruins now want our veteran, Derek Roy, who's playing down in the AHL for a 2018 5th and a 2018 7th. I mean, we just gave up Clayton Stoner for two draft picks, and now Derek Roy for 2 draft picks. I think this is a good idea here. Edit trade. Let me see this. I know I'm using Derek Roy down there in the AHL. Let's see what kind of stats he's got. He's 77 overall. What's he been doing for me down there in the AHL? 9 points, 6 goals in 16 games played. I want the AHL team to do good, but, you know, we got William Carrier up here. We got Alex Tuck up here. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I have to. Derek Roy for a 5th and a 7th. If I let it wait, Derek Roy's value may drop. The Boston Bruins may find someone else. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This is way too good to pass up. The Las Vegas Golden Knights have to do this. So on behalf of the Boston Bruins, we accept that offer. So roster moves. We just lost, what's his name now? Derek Roy from the AHL squad. So again, power of video editing. Okay, so Derek Roy is off the AHL squad. I got the line set again. We should be okay. Reed Duke is still in the 3rd line center position. He is still surrounded by players that can help him out, and defensively, we got Brandstrom down there. And the goaltender, we still have the 74 overall goaltender. So I think the AHL squad is doing pretty good. In fact, I should do... Oh, I can see it right there. Holy shit, yeah, they're doing fine. The Chicago Wolves are 11-3-4. Maybe I shouldn't have traded away Stoner and Roy. Watch the record come back down to earth now. All right, so those 4 games, it looks like we went 2-1-1. 2 wins against Canadian teams. Holy shit, 5 games in a row. It was a Canadian trip there for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Vancouver. They're going to be sick of playing in Canada. All right, you know what? We got a Pacific, not road trip. We got a Pacific homestand, I guess it would be. The Kings, the Ducks, the Sharks, the Coyotes, and then you got the Central. So you know what? Because we got 4 games here against divisional opponents, let's do the slower simulation and keep an eye on the standings here. The Vancouver Canucks are at the top with 29 points in 19 games played. The James the Real Deal Neal, 19 points in 18 games played. So he is getting it done. So let's do a little bit of a slower simulation here. I'd like to mix this in a little bit with the longer sim just so you guys can keep up to date with the divisional standings and also the team leader in points. All right, so the LA Kings, also taking a look at Pacific Division opponents. It's nice to see. So 13-6-1 were the LA Kings. They are in 3rd. All right, so let's see how we play against them. The 19th of November, a day after my birthday, and we get it shut out 2-0. All right, so we haven't scored a goal now in a while. Chicago player Stephane Matteau is fully healed. Now you can sit. I'm not going to edit any lines in the AHL when players come back from injury unless it's a player that I need to have in there. Like Chicago player Eric Brandstrom has been injured. Oh, that's a guy that we didn't want to get injured. Estimated return is December 3rd. All right, so he shouldn't be back too long. Give me a second. All right, I got Chris Casto in there instead of Brandstrom, who's going to take a few weeks off right here. All right, so the next game up against the Anaheim Ducks, who are 12-4-4. Another tough team to go up here against in the Pacific Division. We beat them 5-3. All right. I mean, we're still hanging in there. 8-4. I mean, the season is still early, right? And the poll said either the end of December or end of January. So the San Jose Sharks, with a record of 10-7-3, they are currently in 7th in the Pacific Division. We lose to them 3-1. And last but not least, the Arizona Coyotes, who are in 2nd. My God, the Vancouver Canucks in 1st, the Arizona Coyotes in 2nd. We'll see if these rosters keep up here. So 3-1 loss to San Jose, a 5-1 loss to the Arizona Coyotes. All right, I really need David Perron back, man. All right, so scouting assignment. We are continuing to scout in Russia. Let's go defenseman 2 weeks. There you go. I think, what did I say in the last video? Like 3-2-1? 3 weeks for forwards, 2 weeks for defensemen, 1 week for goaltenders. Try to scout as many places as possible. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. All right, so advance the day. Yeah. All right, so power of video editing. Hang on 1 second. All right, so I think I figured out why we're not simulating well here with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I wanted to take some time just to quickly pre-scout the lineups, the player stats, and the team stats. And you know, when you look at the lines and you look at the player stats, you're going to see some players that you think, you should move him down to this line, you should trade this guy away, blah, blah, blah. But you know, for me, the telling stat is the team stat screen. We are just on paper not good enough to remain competitive with other teams. Just take a look at the Pacific Division. This isn't even the entire NHL. Goals for per game. We are dead last, all right? 2.45 goals for per game. So you can talk about, this guy should move up to the first line. This guy should move down to the third line. If we lose a guy like David Perron, or if James the Real Deal Neal goes down with an injury, we're screwed. We cannot create offense on a team with this lack of depth, or this that is this thin, I guess I should say. And goals against per game, top 2.64. So we're scoring 2.45 per game, but we're allowing 2.64 per game. Again, that weak defensive core, even with an 86 overall Marc-Andre Fleury in the net, it's still not good enough to keep that goals against way down there. So 22 games into the regular season, and it looks like we are clearly a bottom feeder team. All right, so the end of December is coming up here, boys. So, I mean, let me just bring up the player stat screen just here for a second, because this is why I want to take some time just to go over it, because I know I can already see the comments right now. I can already predict what you guys are going to say. You know, this guy's not good enough to make this guy go on this line, trade this guy away. I don't feel like we're that kind of team. James the real deal Neal, 23 points in 22 games played. Remember, he doesn't have Perron to play with. Shipachayev, this guy as well, he's doing just fine, 20 points in 22 games played. Jaromir Jagr on the second line, 15 points in 22. Lindbergh, 12 and 21. It starts to drop off after this. Alex Tuck, there you go, on the fourth line, 7 points in 22 games played. Carrier, 5 points in 22 games played. But Jerome McGinley on the first line, you can see all the plus minuses as well, like -2, -3. I don't see this team being a playoff contender. So let us go back to just grinding out some games here. We'll go back to the quick time simulation, and we'll get to the end of December and see where we stand, all right? Because that's really the next step. Got to just get to where we think we're going to be making some trades and then make them. So December, yeah, we're in December here, right? This is November. Hang on, let me just make sure. Yeah, that's November. Am I going crazy? That's October. Yeah, okay. So October, November, December. So let's go up here just after Christmas, right before the new year. There should be a professional lockout there for GMs not to trade players, but screw that. It's a video game. Las Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, now we're losing players like we're losing games like crazy. Chicago player Eric Branstrom is fully healed. Good. You know what? I won't even edit this out. This will take 2 seconds to do. I'll just do this myself. All right, so Casto, you're coming out, and I will put back in Brandstrom. And at the end of December, I'll also take a look at the progress reports. Our 2 players in the NHL, Carrier and Tuck, if they're not producing, I'll send them back down to the AHL. Vegas player John Merrill has been injured with back spasm. His estimated return is December 19th. All right, you know what? Give me a second. All right, so Nate Schmidt replaces the injured John Merrill on the second line. Let's see what he can do. Right now, the Las Vegas Golden Knights are suffering in a big way. There's a win over the Anaheim Ducks. There's a win over the Nashville Predators and a win over the Dallas Stars. What the hell? They're coming back at a scouting assignment. All right, so we just did Russia for forwards, Russia for D. Let's go Russia for goaltenders. 1 week just to get like just the base scout done. You never know. You might be able to find something special there. There we go. All right, so a 4-game winning streak leading into David Perron returning. I mean, you never know. We could go on a winning streak here. Give me a second. All right, welcome back, David Perron. We desperately needed this guy. 82 overall, second-line forward. So far in the season, what's he been doing for us? 4 points, 2 goals in 7 games played, all right? +1. So he's back on the first line with Shipachayev and the real deal James Neal. Marchizzo, Carlson, and Jagr. And Jerome McGinley, I have decided to scratch, okay? So let's just continue here to the end of December. Perron comes back, and he breaks up the winning streak. Should have scratched him just until we lost at least 1 game. All right, so the scout is back from scouting Russia goaltenders. Let's see. Those fantastic Finns are crazy when you get them drunk as well. So you know what? Liga. Let's go forwards for 3 weeks. Yeah, some fantastic Finns would love coming down here to Vegas to play. Vegas player John Merrill is fully healed. Yep, we'll just do this manually. Don't have to edit this sucker out. Hang on a second here. Defense. All right, so Nate Schmidt is going to come out, and we are going to throw John Merrill right in there. All right, so now our team is fully healthy. Let's see what we can do from now to the end of December. There's a win against Florida, a loss against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Washington Capitals with a very good record. There's a win over them. 2 divisional opponents. A win over Anaheim, a loss over LA, and now we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, the last day of December. So 15, 16, and 5, the end of December. I am going to make an executive decision. I think we end up hurting ourselves in the long run by trying to hold on here, by holding on to our players and not trading them away. We are clearly a bottom of the league type of team. 16 losses, 16 regulation losses at this point. That's going to be hard to come back from, man. Look at the San Jose Sharks. They got half the amount of regulation losses, and they're at the top of the league. I mean, that's a lot to come back from. And why should all of a sudden our team turn it around? We're not a good team. We're just straight up not a good team. So let me bring up the team stats again. But this time, let us compare it to the entire league, shall we? All right, so right now for points, let's see, I'll just sort by points. The Chicago Blackhawks are at the top with 55, Tampa Bay, Washington, Vancouver with 50, San Jose, Arizona, New York, Montreal, Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, LA, New York Islanders, Florida, Edmonton, Buffalo, Anaheim, Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus, Calgary, Nashville, Minnesota, Colorado, Carolina, Boston, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Dallas, and Toronto. All right. Oh, no, there's 31 teams now, right? Detroit. All right, so currently we are in fourth worst, I should say. And this is what I mean. We're only 5 points ahead of the Detroit Red Wings. If we continue to play, at a 500 pace, all of a sudden that gap will be like 10 points, 11 points, right? Should we give up in the season right now? I absolutely think so. So the poll came through. You guys were saying it was either December end or January end. I'm going to call it right there. It's time for us to start selling, to become a seller. We're not a contender or a seller, all right? We are a pretender. And the real deal is drop below a point per game. 34 points in 36 games played. So it's time to trade him right now while his trade value is skyrocketing. All right, so a few things before we go ahead. First off, progress reports. Was my decision to play the younger players in the NHL the right move or the wrong move? Modified. Let's see here. All right, so Theodore up by 13. See what I mean? See, you're playing them in their positions and they're growing. So you guys can chime in with if you put them in the AHL, they would have grown more. We don't know that, right? All I do know is that the decision to play them in the NHL, even on a shitty NHL team, is still resulting in them growing. So Shea Theodore is now to a 78. You got the natural growth for deking and hand-eye, discipline, offensive awareness, wrist shot accuracy, stick checking, all right, and his speed has gone up. Good. So Shea Theodore, is he still listed as a, does it say his player role in this screen now? I don't know. He's gone up to a 78. He might have grown. William Carrier, gone up by 9. My decision to play him on the fourth line is helping. Now, he's not going up too much, but he's got 5 goals, 4 assists. And he's growing, so I'm going to leave him there. Alex Tuck, same thing. He's gone up by 7. He is growing. And you'll see these guys get the big jump from year to year. But, if you can get positive growth between years, that's good. And same thing with Colin Miller. So, I don't know. I'm going to completely disagree with you guys when you suggest that these guys should have played in the AHL. The idea is correct, but you have to look at the player types. Their player types suggested that they were NHL ready. I went with it, and they are growing, so that's good. In the system, all right, so Nick Suzuki playing down there in the CHL. He is growing. The great thing about Nick Suzuki, we do not have to worry about him whatsoever. Eric Brandstrom in the AHL, got him playing in the right spots. 67 overall, he's growing. Good news for us. Cody Glass, another first-round pick for us. This guy's growing in the CHL, 67 overall, good. Griffin Reinhart, gone up by 9, good. All right, so Griffin Reinhart maybe gets a good jump this year. He's got a medium top 6 and he's 23. You got 2 years to jump, maybe. Kolashar, Reed Duke up by 8. Yep, all right, so we got some good growth down here. All these other guys, not too sure of. All right, but I feel vindicated in my decision to play Tuck and Carrier in the NHL this year. You guys chime in. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be beneficial now that we are going into tank mode to send them back down to the AHL. I don't know. You guys chime in. Anything and everything, remember. All right, so that's that taken care of. Let me switch back to the NHL. Oh, my God. Look at this guy. He's leaning over to the right side. Oscar Mueller. Take the picture in the right spot. I'm pressing the start button. Switch. Oh, I think I might hit a glitch or something. Is it switching? Let's go. Change league. There you go. Change league. Change league. Change the league! Well, I did something. I messed up something. Let me go back to edit lines. Yeah, it wouldn't be, you know what? I'm not going to start bitching. Oh, man. Oh, man. If you fucking freeze on me! If you freeze on me! I gotta save it. I gotta save it. Oh, man. Edit lines. AHF. You freaking freeze on me. NHL. Get back to the NHL. Get out of here. Oh! Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. League. No. Save file. I get so freaking paranoid about this. Overwrite. You know what? Create new file just in case I lose the recording. Don't want to screw myself over here. create a new file. Jeez, man. It's starting to slow down all of a sudden. Maybe it's because it's the end of the month. There's a lot of things that the game has to remember. Who knows? All right, so we switched it back to the... Let me just see AHL. I don't know why. It was all glitched out. Now I can switch it back. Now I can switch back to the NHL. All right, well, whatever. All right, so with that being said, let me bring up the proposed trade screen and let us go through a bunch of these other teams that got players on the trading block, shall we? It's a lot easier to go through it, so this won't take too long. So skaters matching the block. I'm not going to go goaltenders. We can even find goaltenders in the draft this year. So we are targeting anything. Prospect-wise, draft pick-wise, I don't care. So Maxime Comtois, yeah, that would be a good one. Arizona Coyotes, Luke Shen, Goligoski, and Hjalmarsson. Let me go by trade value. There you go. Yeah, Hjalmarsson. Boston Bruins, DeBrusque, all right, medium top 6. There you go. Some young prospects that we could bring in. Palmen P, no. Calgary. Backlund, new. Carolina, Stepniak, no. Chicago, Debrincat. Medium top 6. Yeah, there you go. There's another prospect for it. Got some good trade value on him. I don't know if I want to expend that much. James the Real Deal Neal to Chicago. Columbus, Carlson. All right, medium top 4. That's a good defender, it looks like. The Dallas Stars, Martin Hansel, no. The Detroit Red Wings, Gustav Nyquist, no thank you. Kylie, what's his first name? Kyle? Kaler Yamamoto, medium top 6. All right. Stillman, nope, nothing there. The LA Kings, nope, nothing there. The Minnesota Wild, low top 6 defense, nah, that's nothing. Montreal Canadiens, Nikita Sherbak, yep, that could be something. And a medium top 4, Cale Fleury, there you go. Hayden, I'm thinking of Hayden Fleury. Is there another Fleury? There's 2 Fleuries, right? Hayden Fleury and now Cale Fleury, yeah. Okay, very good. Next up, the Nashville Predators, Alexei Emlin, new. The New Jersey Devils, Travis Zajac, no. New Jersey Devils. The New York Islanders, Johnny Boychuk, nope. The New York Rangers, nobody. The Ottawa Senators, Dion Fagoof, no thank you. The Philadelphia Flyers, no, not real. Samuel Morin, low top 4, 75 overall, 22. Maybe. The only reason is you could take a chance on him with the low trade value, right? You could maybe trade away Jerome McGinley and like a third for him, maybe. Derek Pouliot, low top 4, already 23 years of age, though. But you could take a chance on him for the AHL. San Jose, not too much. The St. Louis Blues, not too much. The Tampa Bay Lightning, here we go. Here we go. All right. We may have found a contender here. We found a prospect that is medium elite. Callan Foote drafted 14th overall in 2017 by the Tampa Bay Lightning. But he is medium elite, two-way defender, right hand. And you talk about defender of the future. All right, so let me just remember that. The Tampa Bay Lightning. I want to come back to that. We can do some potential trades here. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Kasperi Kapanen, maybe you could take a chance on him. Haven't seen him grow too much. The Vancouver Canucks, they're trading away their older players. And the Washington Capitals, here we go. 2 guys, medium top 4, Madison Bowie and Lucas Johansson. 60 overall, 75 overall. Yep, there's some 2 good players right there that you might be able to grow. The Winnipeg Jets, Brendan Lemieux, and that's about it. All right, so the Washington Capitals, I think, have the best defenseman that I could acquire for the least amount of trade value, all right? Johansson and Madison Bauer. Madison Bauer would be great. 75 overall. Even if he doesn't end up being the greatest defenseman in the NHL, he could run your AHL for quite some time, and his trade value is not that much to get. Minor league top 2 defenseman. I think this guy would have a future in the NHL, so that might be a great trade. All right, I'm back. Something just popped up. So we got the Washington Capitals, and I can acquire these guys. The trade value is nice and low. Or I can try to splurge a little bit and just get that bona fide top 2 defenseman of the future in Callan Foote. So, I mean, you guys got to come to a conclusion here. You know, what would be better for this team? A guy who maybe doesn't have the most potential, but whose trade value is much lower, which means I could acquire him for a lot less. So let's see. Foot, how much would it take to get Foot? They would love James the Real Deal Neal. The only problem with that is they would be close to being over the cap. I mean, look at the trade value. It's way off. I would have to go a lot more for this. All right, I'd have to go like Shipachayev, Theodore. It would be a good one, but then I'd also have to give up like a draft pick as well. You're talking about a lot to get that defenseman. Whereas if I can just, play it slow, get as many draft picks as I can, and I can bring in, say, Madison Bowie. Let's see here. Madison Bowie. They don't want James the Real Deal Neal. Who do they want? Tuck. Oh, they want younger players. Even Merrill, though. Look at this. Merrill they would want. 81. They want defenseman. So I could even do like Merrill and a third for Madison Bowie in comparison to Callan Foote, who's going to take like James Neal, Shipachayev, and a second to get, So there does come a point where it's a little bit too much. Especially for a team like this where we're going to be getting draft year after draft year. I don't know. This is a good question. All right. So the Washington Capitals or the Tampa Bay. You know what? That is the poll question for the next episode. So we're going to end it right here, boys. We have some good trades available. I think what I would like to do is maybe wait a little bit longer. Not to make every trade. I want to make a trade right now that would really hurt our simulation. Maybe like a Marc-Andre Fleury trade right now. Get rid of that goaltender. Or James Neal. And then closer to the trade deadline, wait till more players become available, right? But the poll question I'm going to put to you guys is not based on your opinion, not based on what's on paper. For the Las Vegas Golden Knights franchise, moving forward, which would be the better choice? Callan Foote or Madison Bowie? Take everything into account. The trade value, what you'd have to give up for Foote in comparison to what you'd have to give up for Madison Bowie. And then on the flip side, what could Callan Foote actually produce for you 5, 6, 7 years from now compared to Madison Bowie? Is Madison Bowie going to top out at 82, 83 while Foote gets to a 91, 92? Because that's a big difference. So we're going to leave it right there, boys. The poll question that I will link for the website is which player is more valuable to the Las Vegas Golden Knights franchise right now? Is it Callan Foote or Madison Bowie? Let me know, boys, and I will see you in the next one where we begin to dismantle the Las Vegas Golden Knights franchise. Hey guys, Johnny here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you don't miss out on any new content. You can also swing by our website, which has forums and a live chat. That, along with Twitter, allows us to play with our subscribers in our GTA lobbies or the 24/7 open Minecraft server, where you can build with others or play in one of the many games across Superbia. Our Patreon account helps us support our website and the Minecraft server, and we also live stream on Twitch, where I take days off my life for your entertainment. Sonny Gray, get out of it. You stupid pieces of shit! I should have gone with Jose for Fernandez! Oh my God, pitching change. Fernandez, get your ass in there. Oh, I swear to God, baseball God just decided to all over me. Grand slam, oh yeah. Make me miss the playoffs with a first-ranked team. Year 2, 30 games above 500, no divisional win, trip to the wild card. First inning.